for ensure so ensua sane ayeye de no omonso entumi enye omonso ediesa story no ewo page 13 asem kese a eda daily graphic enim anopei o say presidential quest begins 24 vie for highest office eno so wotwa ma mi Jane Mensa mfoni ediaba openi pa oda electoral commission ano mfoni na wotwa ediaba wokasa nsem no ewo aha Kwesi ena mamfa ncha ase wo
Jane Mensa Nipa 24 and I filed nominations of the Tom Saba as president of the Republic of this country. It's quite interesting. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if you be Nipa 20. Because even the EC them so almost person better than man so. They made the argument that wow, mistakes ever forms to be another opportunity to correct it.
Wow.
What you say?
Maybe muina besaso.
Ha. And what the problem? The likes of Afarijan and Charlotte won't do that. Because what also be your man, you have to be very serious. Also, when cat turn out we are very diligent about and never be quiet. What's you serious? But in the case of Jane Mensa, for 2020 we are the same thing. 2024 she's doing the same thing. Say, over detecting mistakes of baby. They have written to the people.
So
say when I bra na best be correct. It is all about some questions there are still mistakes. I wanna there's a possibility say give or take say you are maintaining 24 now at least by 20 years. And it will be the first time in the history of this country. A problem. Very problematic. Very for me. It's very problematic.
No, person just or you we are now or do be a to man.
It's almost democracy
here. Dimbo.
And
Of course. Of course. Ghana for Ekasa, a binum Kasa, and no person avoid it. On person be a bayer on Jenny. We are Ghana in our qualifying one will be piano to me. And one
that's the only thing I'll say there. That's the only thing.
As some crowd say my boy Remudada. Jane Mensa, some one American say, Osro Dimmo. Demon and so ye penny who set a count. Best champion and crofo feet, so best champion crofo now. So, obey be and any penny not a better was. Now, oh, dear, if there were any so and it's only a right to you, never boa the a domdodona. Neobi Candy, no shouldn't be a problem. A year big deal among us, but
let me be quick to add, say 24 years or more officially, or about within time, no. I have paid the information. Nipa be force so buy after the stipulated time. It's a commission. So no, the same day in a Friday. You know.
Ah, okay.
Ombe do is one time there. But now no. It's by the time ombe not 5 p.m. at the moment. But it came. Easy say what in crack there. But as to whether or not or the back 24 no is another thing. It is in the they will come to on comment. They say on your money like easy for the board.
Now say you
to the number 24 now on the we don't know. It's yeah share say because PPP can be PPP.
I feel
almost delay. I don't even know who they are going with. I don't even know. My file. What I say, it's almost delay. You said about 4 or 5 parties a delay. It is 4 or 5 parties. Easy is now thinking. What I say, you find count on
no delay. I know from the time I file in the account.
Time they are part of the nation. So about their arguments that they came there earlier. But I said no more.
Okay.
No more easy. No more quality no man, but time now no cat and common commissioners in the day. Not on my point.
It's compound.
It's compound. Oh, hospital of 6 credit paper. Once our paper in Yanko baby. That 10 minutes now. Can I finishing taxes?
It's easy for catch up with say. aha no
serious parties na ko
anya ha na be show papers o anya na be follow forms David what follow forms of here
me see serious parties na ko do ada Monday na ye na wo to serious parties na ko 8 na ko no mo na mini business no mo aka tra se ama efia de dura na no so e ho na wo san ko door to eye na wo cross city we yes na wo anya anya si
so sa for no so ba
parties in ba
mo so party ene mo de me ko 2028
Young Krata from Daily Guide and you see the favorite Ghana's favorite newspaper Jamestown Harbour comes alive which one man penny and funny Nana Danko Kufado Ewaha Sanso and an ere first lady Mama Rebecca Kufado Ewaha Sanso so and a neat taki chew or ye gamanchen so and funny and open even so it's a gamanchen chenya wakana nasibu finfin wa wotra ahumani Jamestown Harbour na wotra ahumani na baba ye jumana na otwi mu na video bi nam social media na nate ho a wo renam asa wo renam bi wo plate so a mkofo to nyuma na yere say eh wa we kakra ye still na papa edi chedu say ho okotwa ahomam wie na ne omo no ante
dokoro ni nchina
omo no akakra si ni ni ma say wo we papa ya ria na yere to so ye papa na no still no we so ma me wibi no so emfoni na wotwa aba say Jamestown Harbour no say we bia no a etumi ababe ye adwuma ama ahenkafo na se fishermen nso so omo kopo na omunya nam bebrebe a enkoye se ye tornado fo de betumi di biesie na nam ho kwa atwe a wetumi eyi ede aba beton ma bibia etumi akoye Mahama exposed over EC credibility claims and nso so Mahama ensama no so baka kire bakafo a asedu nkatia so oboa eni se mebunu no so omo nko demonstration omo film sinche isi nyame adomecha no no weche se saa nema na omo cheche ewo voter register no munti omo ba be ko demonstration no wose wohwe register no mu bibia aye emu eda ho fanya asem pepe bia enyina na se nsuo enyina omo demonstration a omo se omo ba abeko ne mu asem kasia ede Daily Guide enim anepe wotwa EC chairperson Mami Jane Bensa Enfoni ede abaha no weche se let's talk EC tells NDC no street protest no so demonstration on mobile bekono ho asem na maami eche se omontena se na abrebre na se bre kasa brewema abato ento omontena se na afi omonsi nkonwa na bibia ewo register mo omfeel se enkoye bia omo nyina ntena se na omonsi esie na bibia enye ye na demonstration na ye de ye bibia eye story no ewo page 3 ewo ha Rebecca wins Woman of the Year award and so mama Rebecca Ghana your first lady o mampani erin wo chese award bia wo ye wo de abasogbade no abone se ewiase na se Ghana ha ina ono na afi oye Woman of the Year wabo na baso e wo sa kwan no so enwoma ototo ya erin so yeyi no na se odugu akwemu nti a yabo na baso no page 6 wokọ nkrata no mu a obetumi enyamu nhyemu ye papa focus clamp down on illegal miners. Focus clamp down on Chinese illegal miners. And so galamse hun tokwa ye kuna no watch say mo mama for information nsi ana say yemfa nsi Chinese illegal miners no ho pa ne san say omo na omo say yensuo ene yensase e wosa kwan no so sister kwia
yo me de be fi Jamestown for ade no haba no me kai me primary school teacher was say haba yeah yenka haba na makohu bi ewo Elmina na Kwesi nyame anim no krini say Jamestown de ne te say Elmina de ne omo anya
yeah
Elmina de ne fe papa
Jamestown de kai better than Elmina
yeah beautiful haba pa na de ya me fe kra ne yi sasi defense no mo aye no a eno akra service deco haba no esi na chi utimi eferi kanu edeko na utimi so nante edefa so edeko me sure say babia fisher folks ewo etumi nya saade bia enka ebeboa wo papa na wadwuma wo ye ebeti afrafo adwuma a wo mokwa a okonya anam ne ba oni babia odi go nti na wagye abofo na nkrofo ato na ono aboka because say premix ne bo ne eno ma keka ka ho no eno enye easy enti we no beboa ma odi nam ne ba obenya babi de egu ya antoni nyina na ekena wo ho obeto so ama na boa enti ye bo aban aba so ade a efe de efe efe de ayefe na yeso akodi dokono ni nche na mo I would James Town ko mi say de
wa nothing wrong with that. I mean
kwa
I don't know why Nanado is first a human being before being a president. Obe team say me chick go be join them dig go ba. But no mama.
Na what is it? Na you ko di. President.
Rebecca so aso Oyerepa mu party.
Ono antibeki na ono en.
Antibeki me kai say ni video do mo ya mo communion wa sorry dem ho bi sakwa no wa ye ni nsase.
Ah yeah, it's true. It's true. Rage church no. It's true.
It's true.
Always a communion, not there's a right.
Now, by training, yes, and the woman one melted. Any anti-Bekia politician, when you are a man, ex-president Rollins, Timothy got them one or team. Akotola and Timmy, so I say James Town, a septic tank. A bouya school for amber break or moody a grown car, by 10 and over. In Nakugu, maybe we, or we simbi. And we mo friend woman we yomo
leadership
and what you say and na GTV kra na wo so menim say so ma sesa
okay me hu say
o reels na there so
no man na there no so
odru baby mami abi we bi afran place wo baby wo fufu kwaje wo
yeah what is there is it
akufo ado anu kalipo da no di dokun oyem sa wana
no say nam ka o meko ni
you know odi dokun oyem sa wana ye de o be ko di konkonte na aka se wo odi
we chimbo be just man ya
fufu nti be fufu de
na Rebecca ho mete
ba fufu joint wo bia minim ni wa joint nti we to say me di bia mama chine twem ne ko bed you know Becky Emma papa be
mama
so many close market e wo ho e na isi so protest and the NDC for wo mo right nti omo betimi ayo mo protest so me say na pay
Echina
17th I know 16th nti china e na illegal mining ne so asem no ye nyina ye hi asem wo se ye ka ho asem na so say ye ka na China for ni bi no no omo gas pa o because omo gas omo ni adin of
course
but yes so ko to say abo kraman te pataso a kraman won furu do yawo na nipa ne fa ne si
nipa ne peja ne si
onipa ne ma ne so no de ne si apata ne so China ni a otini Guangzhou otete Fushan ni omo nkro no wonu oni ba bi amanso aponapon wo oni ba bi amanso wa treso wo obesi Ghana no Ghana ni ene di nanim de ne koye enti u kika utu momonefo no na utu ejina mansofo e de ka ho ye kasa China fo a Ghana fo ne so en kasa nkire wo mu bi na omo a ne aso aye man ye kobo ni fe yi ase ya ne yakofo ha we di aba me ye sure say ye adwen se be ye hu bibi akwese enye late you can still do something about it kakra me pese me ka
ye sha sankrata afoforo e wo ho a na yamfa de ho no so ento so
I say we nti you better catch easy for the say is an institution that dwells on a perception. In the last few years, Afro Barometer Jabase, a month for GDA what easy mono, a coffin gradually is on the decline. Now, and easy for the year, and then they're easy for the year. You should be very careful the perception people have about them. A simple matter. We see why resolve problems and easy for the buyer. And he's want to say, exhibit the register again. Then who in some year can resolve it. We see there be any
demonstration.
It's not made demonstration. Demonstration that they have their right, but the commissions of it way. Just exhibit the register. Now amount for
anything I'll say, Omuna and Shana Moncasa and Tabia and Pennyphone Nini Shana Omu yes, a Honana, a Babasel,
since last week, no case of Munchia. Since last week, it may cast it. We exhibit it. No problem being the man. There's nothing wrong. Audit. No problem here. There's nothing wrong. Then Ghanaians will know that I'm in the crack. But I said, I said, oh, Heidi Bibi. I saw the BBC. I saw myself of the Bibi.
So also a year from my mention some passage.
That's exactly the point that the NC guys are making. It's so far there, you're in TBB, but me sure said, and I want to go for that protest. You want
to go and see
me 10% casualty there. Ebe ejuma. Eye de nya 10% casualty there.
Ya be bobi mumba.
Eja, demonstration men na Ghana. Yan mo bi da.
Ukoto board ya
demonstration men in Ghana.
Okay, demonstration.
In my time, my cover demonstration, there is no demonstration yan mo.
Be peaceful.
Emu de na peaceful.
Emu de peaceful.
They na wo de na in the last few years, my cover
what kind of demonstrators be a omo bro omo a ye kohwe bi mu bag na abo egumu adaraka wona mo na abo gu he
Nancy about 2 years exactly.
You know,
10% casualties allowed. It's in there.
Ukoto board the police for
10% casualties.
Ukona for demonstrate peacefully now ba ofia
but
ukoto board fatu tirim say
indisciplined boys and girls were there.
No be kitatu obebo nti fatu tirim
be de ho anfanto aso na yenko
you catch us say
me de mami baby Michelle Afole Ado ne ma me ne Mrs. Ado marketing charge of marketing or Kesman Media Mrs. Ado oko Presby or yasafo panyi macro Presby na ne ba Michelle Afole Ado or a 4th-year medical student KNUST and o konfa no che clinical hostel ho ti Michelle Afole happy birthday to you na me sha papa me ne unuanom ne abusuafo nyina ne o maame ye ma happy birthday onyame moa na onsiesie for adwuma na wafa no yero ho aka 2 years pe ne ye ba graduation na me nhira papa na onye okese Michelle Afole Ado 4th-year medical student e wo KNUST
we belated one madam for power back home for Canada ye friend Bogake Eddie the nickname me mother has or secretary you know what nickname me mother but Bogake I don't pay there be more belated have been no birthday more belated one from all the every boys the mayor Sai Joe Kofi we all wish you belated happy birthday Bogake
birthday ni bi so me de ma Mrs. Dora Boatin yet our friend Precious Mami or Ebuakwa market Mrs. Dora Boatin Precious Mami who Ebuakwa market and there you are of that if you Akosua or watching so or see for happy birthday mom na Onyankopon nhyira na osre edema ani enkwatenti yenyina so na yemfansi Akua Asieduaa ay krado Ghana te sen na ode to so bidi de na ma intifo madawase amammo no hwa abra
abusuafo ye mamu nyina chima makwa aba e de bagana te sen bere so ena ye dwoada na enne enkoma ye bedi no ye bedane akọ Tonisac Electronics na fe property electronics na beye na otwe mienu ne ye gina fridge titru ye ka gadgets ahodo ni nyina ye use ewo efie home appliances no ne mum fridge ena ye ka ho asem ye di ho nkomo pa esane se eno ena ye nuane ni ye nsu aye no nyina sebe ye poisonous so sebe ye duane e bema ya hoden o ni nyina eho ena ye de ekohye na anopai mensaka rich love fosima boache ya o ye sales rep ewo Tony Sack Electronics ena fe Erica Ejedompre ono se nutrition officer ono ne ani di nkoma o che kwampa ebetimi afa so afrizi ye nuane na ye bedi healthy foods na etumi aboa nipadua no sanse fridge ni si ho na wanfa anya adwuma sede esese wo ye no a utimi kura fa yare efiri mu eba meeting de Akua Asieduaa abedwafo me mama chima makwaba na mo hote say Richie nyame adom ene o mate say
nyame adom
say usini guso koso
oh yeah
I see ebe end ebrebe
the ending this year and the
oh September ending o say ne ebrewum ene am say 16
2 months
yo I see Madam Nutrition Officer ene o mate say e de nyame asra no pay de ne ye fa hene
okay senior from last week na ne dey nkoma afa full storage hono this week here rapid bibia but then no me dey kakraba to demonstrate how patran we need plastic wrap for no me nya bia ma ha and na we need ziplock ha nti o me say bibi say no so we dey aduane ne eguma say nete na we pushing for me na afiri mu ha ansa na wa zip and na we no so no say nete bibi say cabbage ubetimi ni we na awrap ho amframa engine mu
ne ball no
me pa try for wrap ho
try
what pay mu kra na betimi awrap to keep it very safe and green leafy vegetables my friend say lettuce no mo na pepper tissue ama ha and ubetimi dia wrap ho na we dia share bibi say ziplock eto dan so betimi dia to airtight container amframa ntimi fem ba eno no the tissue no bet so na the lettuce ni bi ato so na asa de bi ato so ansana wakata so nti say omne say yese kura waduane yese na be ya ense this week there ye the BBS ni ampa next week ye be treat a different topic altogether
nti ya koto ni o ma ne dia ba wie no ekwan be so ye fa so treat ni kwan bi so ansa na ya locky no we mu ana
me pa cho obo ho a let you say you be prefer say obo ho ho but e was o dry o pepa ho you the tissue paper bi pepa ho yie
na ma ho wo
evo ansa na wa wrap obo obetimi so agyan na sa because when use ye ubetimi dia wrap ho na we dia share weighing and also ubetimi dia to contain him and a cabbage no so onya ne sho ubetimi dia wrap ho once we use ne dia problem be ho
I see na yakodi ye dwane wie ya ba ye dia ba bedru fie bi enam ne nyoma ewo mu makoi ya titi ne tinyina me dia na me de ye se de me dia na me ka che no mko me de be ko freezer je se me titi me yi ne tini nyina free so ne bia we clean ho kama se ne wo sa ya na wo de ye de wo de ye enu no etwa mu no apart from the wakeke cabbage ne lettuce ne vegetables aka no ho asem no enam ankasa kwan da ne fa so de nam eto ayimu
okay me that's
yes store nam meat and a fish seafood and so
okay yeah what enwane e perishable foods na kan say enwane a exposed to environment nature e betimi asay enam ye baako fish ye baako seafood ye baako enti no e ba inu kwan say it's not room temperature for more than 2 hours because it's sensitive to temperature. Into exposing it to a higher temperature, bacteria growth no ebedoso. It's no open rubber, just pull out air. A man from engineer DBR would be good. Now what's a freezer? And on the refrigeration side, eco freezer. And in food storage, the fire be freezer burn. So we freeze it no. Freezer burn here say one ma and frama alcohol. Then from a room, I say one katahu ye, and I'm from a room, and then it's me the scaladian, but it's safe to eat. But when your color, and I said, the were, and I'm here ready. I don't know. High dark or brown, you have to be bisa. It's any friend freezer burn. It's safe to eat, but then one had the quality of the food, no air attractive. And I told them so tell be a freezer fluctuation of temperature now, and also to make us freezer burn. It's in partial. It be here.
So now, you receive foods, and I know soon you are
freezer. Meat and poultry, seafoods, ni freezer. Just
again, the messy foods, yeah, they are poisonous, sir.
And not there, I can say,
because fish in this animal, apart from me, say vegetables, say, when to me, especially would there salad in every, you know, yeah, the creation, any penny and a pay. Into this time, Paddy and Fang Winning so when you paddy picking vegetable no pa, may can catch up in any no man, no one, you know, dear gusso. Now, and Namlan Casasso did to me a poisonous spa. Matiso because we're calling a mamma and Yamushida. And to say, I'm on your poison, but I think their environment. Let me patch say it to me.
Fine. Yeah, but I think the environment now, let me say, and then maybe Akua Asieduaa ama and soon also sway kakra.
And quite maybe say you bit me a faso a preserve seafoods.
I know they are freezing. That is the best. Me, I'm say meat, poultry, seafoods, freezing. Just wrap it very well. But some tangents, and I think send the authority from the high a bit to me. Okay.
Yeah. Internet there and one casa with the brain.
And then a demonstration of enema a bit to me a wrapping. Because I think say you didn't come over from last week, so I was just demonstrating how obesity are wrapping. We now look in the carrots, carrots, wait me the room, also wait the tissue paper for home, or the room. Just as a man from because I'm from Akuma, where you need to me, I say. Would the idea she freezer wrap it very well? Because someone from Akuma, a bit my freezer burn. And so I question me, I say. And the one so I would the freezer man, now restock here, push it there, while restocking old one, the brain mukaka. Ne eat and no, dear no.
You need no canny, the old shame canano.
Never new one issue because a shame chip people and I listen to me the freezer brand ever. So now they are basically demonstration of some of the materials that you can use just in
2 years now wrap it.
Cabbage now push air out of it. We know say we are once usilia push air. Sana we dey no silly. Ziplock na lock it.
Obi baby say air insu dey say baby bi wo ho. Even as ate as kwem frama wo ho.
Oh sure.
Now can you push air nyina fi
me pa try wait me e be flatten. Would the room man for baby ameta would the room now push air na e be flatten. We na for baby awom. We say the same thing. Air tight.
Okay. Richie. Then I can
Erica. Minya ba Erica Erkan. Said they all can with storage of foods no it deal with temperature. That appropriate temperature. I'll put in their store with Gianne and be a store bia. Until you catch us property electronics in your man. Say that every time you ever have I can say we have technicians, we have experts oba. You said that church plan before so be used at DNA fire. So we set the temperature at the appropriate way. Freezer, fridge, yes, setting will be a better idea. Will be an say before so be cook idea. Yes, setting be or send a bear anyhow. And to know where they are what promotion it so send a minister to Casana Mikayan. Promotion it so air coso. It's what would see me be your air conditioners 410 gas. Yet, nay, in the fence on see a copper. Chesa a chancasa a very energy efficient and so and chicken near the boy for a papan so. Your freezers, your fridges, sizes beer freezer, liters beer here, beer fridge, liter beer here, beer. Your side by side, your tabletop, your liters beer, the opposite of the beer freezers. No, so they turn there, so you so fear, so what the day. The opposite of the beer, ubenya washing machines. Yes, I'm a man, and there be a micro me or bad, there be a make a beer, mamma. Washing machine, a vanity, a necessity. I'm telling you.
They only say a luxury. They say never be walk car now as a luxury, but it's a necessity.
I'm telling you, it's a necessity. So be never fear. Because on the detergents na ban minimum I said no mo dey bi mu a kun fancy your man no hwe won set pad dem set tutu ko hwe man bi set a areko ti me sa me nwa man mesra mo oba nso so je wo ho hima ukuru ntoma akra sie kakra fa beto fi se the boy fofofo eti anopa de kasa nwa aye property ene Tony Sack promotion ganganto promotion a ye no eho dawura na ye bo na ye bon so ane de apomudin nyoma kakra so aka ho ama fi se ye daw oda ya kuma so enti se wo rep property ane Tony Sack e chia kwan a ye wo Kumasi Edum ena sunyane Kumasi Edum ye wo SD Karam building eye Oyerepa building fefefe ya na chi e honom ye Tony Sack Enterprise oba bi hwensu obi e wo triangle bi me opposite wa one property Tony Sack Electronics e wo ena ye wo new Melcom opposite eye pioneer old building no building e toa so Dakojom taxi rank one ma on sani bonkum so e honum so na property electronics a showroom ya display ni omanyo so person hu ade ne se ya display na chede nyina ka ho a bra showroom on bi ohia bia e bi wo honum so wo Kumasi a me pa cho be 0244 119236 0244 119236 and 0204 292424 0204 Sunyane Okoko runabout 08 travel and tour opposite one my where property electronics and to show you can see a display bia ade bia here wo fie bia ubenya bi e wo honum Sunyane number is 0273 260606 0273 260606. But to your wholesale near over for 0508 108337 0508 108337. Wholesale deals. They were very good and very juicy deals for wholesale phone. It is so if you want to venture into electronics, Juma, Mepacho Bra, they have very good deals. Now also so Efa Kokobo Bra. Property electronics, any Tony Sack. Yes, it's a papa preko. Now honto.
Papa preko na honto. Ebusuafo ye bre na ye de mu besi ha. Na no pay me ne Rich Love for Suima Boache ya oye sales rep Emma Tony Sack Electronics omokrona na de property electronics de aba ono na no sisi ano na Madam Nutrition Officer nso Erica Chedompre me din de Akua Asieduaa asa na be sori boa me ne fa Sedama Institute of Expert Travel and Tours we say enka nche say working visa business de study visa permanent residence na wo pe no so visa nkomodi school na wo kọ aba any akwantum nkomo nyina woni Institute of Expert Travel and Tour for any nkomo also mo recruit health workers ebiti say nurses midwives, pharmacists, lab technicians, and afi adwumayefo enkaye bi ti se pharmacy kuafo esan se honomo omo kwaye na omo eye emfu akese pa omo perform managers afi teachers, bankers, construction workers adwuma bi a wo ye bia to anamonical Institute of Expert Travel and Tour opeso to kwan kwa de a ombeboa o so full line Prempeh College gate number 2 no 2 brigade honmo second gate ho ya for 0504 694209 na wo mo emwa me de mu esi asori ama PSA ladi e the health and lifestyle abetomo so me mamu nyina good morning.
Emri bi etwam apomuden ho nsem agi ensem ho emma osuru yedin masase ediawere ho enti onyankopon nam da asumu eda enua eni habama ebeji adasama enkwa ekire adujamfi okumanini barima enu akire no adujamfi esa kotra kwayem edaduanan agwamfa nsuo ankana no menu mienu apomuden panti wenti enigisem onyankopon de yare nyina so tumi ahye Dr. Tamdasonsa dise di wawuo anase yesie no koa ene wontimi na yare sabia hode wasiesie ho kama fika krabi bagwa yare sa ewo kumase abuakwa agogo frayen 0244 774282
oyalfo bia kaise udimafo midimafo eba clinic Dr.
Onyankopon ma asomdue nka mo nyina sene Awurade asem ka ewo Malakai ngoma 89 ne yimu num kosi ensia no ose mesuma odifo Elia mabremo ansa na Awurade dakese a ehu no aba ne senti na nyame
Shalom Aleichem.
Aleichem shalom.
Yeah, that's a papa. They we are now smiling. No, my set is wife. Oh yes, I'm sure. Papa. Oh, don't ye? What's I do, papa? I mean, okay, see. But what time is secret? We
there's a main power someday.
Oh. What time is our breakfast? Okay, here been here. See, it just come.
Okay.
Oh, Brian, yes.
Okay. The young funny say, a moi ben anase a diena, a moi ben ultrasound. A dubois, a maye a ma CS.
Okay, to post.
The rule
before
CS, pre-CS.
And Sanya is CS.
Pre-CS, yes. The rule of ultrasound. Moi ben but my ATF into my correction kakra. We only ultrasound and CT scan.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's a papi. Okay. Yeah, na you say a mark CS. Obi oha was a okwo ne ye CS. My wife, for instance, I CS too. One bay na ultrasound scan na ye twa no. Ye de boama doctors no hu say painful way was say in CS. PSA the role of ultrasound a scan e twa no hospital no. Aboa a reduce maternal death rate wo Ghana ha mean to me my percentage but make say bebre.
E matter wo scan
na aboa manne enye komo say yesi oba bi akwa wo so okoye no wama adenti na ye me kasa first na nkrom ketewa mu na nana nimdie ma bebre yenya mfidia wodo bebre no na emma kwa wo so na ye wu bebre but enne scan no boa e kire midwife no say painful way untumi ngina wo ewo kroketwa we nti e wo se o ma painful no every kroketwa ni ekokasiem na doctor eye specialist eye den ehwe no
okay
enyoma emma a painful ni bi eko awo so a
okay
na anka omomma anase obi wo hokra anka ye nya ne ba no ebi ho ebe nya ba no ye nya maame no ebi ho ebe nya maame ye nya ba no ebi ho so mumienu nyina edie na scan abeboa masese saa nyoma ni nyina no yetumi hu ne ntem eye de di kan eye placenta previa yaka placenta eye echirade no yaka previa eno na se placenta no aye echirade no akokata awode na no se ekokata awode na no a echire se esi akra no kwan se akra no betimi eden epie aba enti eno no se eba na saa na se nipa no wo nkron kitu anim na se scan ni ho ye hunu se akra echirade no esi awode na no kwan ana se ensi ano kwan enti awom redu a the midwife no the mana eje awo no ebetimi aya abo wa ne se chim moja betu mamia at last on any bani nyina beko yes
but muhu placenta previa yintemu a doctor na the guy ni hu kwan obefa so
that's it into the topic is the role of ultrasound in cesarean section eboa ultrasound no eboa ya ye scan eboa ema wo maame no ye koye CS into the moment I be say a placenta previa no another TV no so no placenta previa ye mo awodo nti wo hwe de that TV so na wo hwe de wo left two bi na baaye no wo hwe de wo left na eye bankum so no eye normal but wo hwe de wo right na ye nifa so na utimi se echira de akata awode na no we kwan bia ni ho a akola we ebetime maame ne betime awa akora no kwan bia no betime pie agese koye ni CS eye cesarean section
and when is na be ma symptom bia na ne de kire na ne aka ho asem
there was symptoms ukoya twi midwife na dwen sisu say ebe ye previa ene se oba wonyam na ebia won say awo anyinsem ye wo mu nchichemu awoduo miensa de dika de tosu mienu efi de tosu mienu ekọ na ewie ye no de tosu mienu no kọ na ewie won say wo ha na oba no hunu moja sport kakra o ha no hunu moja sport kakra mo sa moja na eba sport etwe midwife na dwen si so say no ye nkọhwe say kira de no akata awode na no ana say nyinsem na pese esai ene one symptoms ene ya ebema ye hunu say ekira de akata awode na no. Okay, into PS ye trust scan na ehunu say we ebi kura ye tumi hunu be 20 weeks 5 months busumi num ebi so ye hunu busumi nson ebi so ye hunu 9 minutes akaka kra wo babel ye hunu ya what time no kra no doctor no ma no nso if you say ye ma what time nso ye ntumi predict awo etesa temu da obi nim da kra wo be wo ye painful na nkasa untumi nkasa me wo chena
ebi ye betwa you kra mutumi kasa plus or minus
that is it
2 weeks.
Inti ewu bibi sana na doctors no midwives no many age adentia we have saved a mother and a child scan it me aboa ma ye save ya gema me no ne ba ni nyina enkwa efi se we o kro kituom na ye hu a ma me ne ba ni nyina ebe free
chese be ne chim sa
we de me tu ni sa na okọ ebi wa ye say na wa ye nukunu boni bi ma onye nukunu boni bia nti say so oba ye nukunu boni na say obewo na obenya sunsusu aso a ene be ma so ya na yere boni a mbrebe no so nya sunsusu aso
koko na ebi ebe say ni bi ana na ebe katika
good nti placenta presentation is very key ewo ultrasound eboa ema ye hunu say maame no no abetumi awo ana so ono a entumi eden enwo ye oba ku bi so a ye frɛ no fetal presentation the way akra no be si ada fa no e na be kire say maame na nkasa betumi awo akra yi ana so wontumi nwo akra yi presentation ye wo mu awodo miensa aye common miensa no say ya na obi kakra bi etalo ba key one A3 your cephalic presentation your breech presentation and your transverse presentation your cephalic presentation you say akran what the year maame ni betimi awo no ne tie sane fomu a maame ni betimi awo na amana den amanaba
the cephalic ni
we cephalic presentation
okay
where akra no wada in the supine position was wada ya in a o prone position say obebutu ni na cephalic it no fom nko ade e cephalic okay in a way so yet transverse presentation wabiem dia wabiem na ye transverse and that the ti e wo soro no e no na ye breach but the midwives no be was so much experience to the extent say akra no ye breach kra na to me dana
wow.
But fears only maybe. So we're transverse. There is no way.
Breaching a brave breaching here, the hen house to me done.
Breaching here, once I say when it's from what I in the prune or butuho.
Okay.
And this is the best way for presentation and for labor.
Okay.
But that's say a boy midwife, so no, it me Gia, I cry now about men or work for fair. Breaching on can it way in Cabacosoro. Into the tinny facing my amenable.
Hey.
No one I cry on Cawasan and 9 facing my amenable. None tino ever form. Into breach in a midwives don't have some experience. I want to be done. Aside that to crown or mutimi ejena war be or between the 9 million day, a drinking aba near Sodomu, near Boa Marmenona, Akraniding, Amba. But with transverse presentation,
Wabiano
Bibian Wabeting. Last, it didn't come out, people say, in a hospital where they say, Okoya near UCS, Okoya near UCS. Dr. Bian Pai Bonnet said, or Babia Benjamin non one gazao. And yet Dr. Pai Bonnet say, me kose maame fo na nyemo a omuntumi wona me nkoye CS enye no na ehwe CS ni yesua se doctors ni sua se emergency bana maame ni ntumi nwo a me de age maame ni abofra no CS no botaye no se maame ni ntumi nwo a me de age maame no ene abofra no enti maame bie ni wo a wo betimi awo na doctor say debi me mano me koye ni sie no we nya de na de no benya free
faso bi eni so
enti no mo maka se ina ha de wo koya na koye osie se no koya na koye osie de enti ya se wo koya na koye osie se ne se wo koya scan no tumi boa ma doctor no hu sa akra no wa bia mu akra no e kira de na kata wo de na no into where the CS na was a no first no oh CS no so ba wo kwa wo so ana wo kowu first no na CS no so ba wo kwa wo so ana wo ba kowu ba say CS na do so ama tete sa nyom where your ultrasound you yes our clinical symptoms
okay maybe akrabi wo hono ma wo say ya chekere no kon ho
you will call around neck so e wo hono mu e no scan nko na doctor ne midwife no ye be bo mo di ehun sa akra na wo ba no from no cord no the son from no so ko so ekira de no so no
e bi na da so no
on the way si ayakra no first one I buy no
and then ko chekere no
pie say we hu ni ntam akra no be wu
na no e de na timi chekere akra no kon sa na so opre do
on say ahoman e wo nsuo na omodemu e na akra no so nsuo no di mu agro ko any how bia wo into we accidental enye say akra no ana di from na dey a chekere no kon into this corner around neck no say we hu ni ntam a ebe ku akra no ko wo hwe de aye na de mu a wo di agro na emu otwe de mu a wo di agro na emu otwe into akra emu mia na say na akonfo nti anything na to da obi ba hospital na o complain say me ba na pray do a doctor na say go try scan eya ye hu bibi sa the kids na ye say akra no no na edi na agro na say froma no akochekere no kon sa de we na time aso ntempa I was say ko ye CS
yes obewu
akra no bewu
na bia we first obe 6 months and 6 months intense
no kro nyame ni with about 12 years experience was kind mo no me hu bi sata in probably na a see at third trimester
okay 7 8 9 months
7 8 9 months mu ho no ina sa de we etasi
enti wo doctor ka se ko twa scan na we wo dodge oye mu bebre wo ba ka se sikanti me dodge a na se wo hwe ya because me can call your hoarding o ma me no hoarding o feel so hoarding make a body fufu o wa we so kwan so atobo fruit a shop bag do say ba ma na asem bia ni ho no enti yesi ko twa scan na wo so no adoje wo wa o ma bia
no correct ye wo improbably number of patients are you who say doctor ka say kofa onyoma na bra this is time ko but yes about more than 3 row scan pre eka we nda foforo ehia
ye be kan wo se
probably doctor ka say kofa onyoma bra na e wo se twa wa wontumi o then ipo na ko hye fie nyame beye obitimi ko hye fie 3 days 1 week oba na kwa na ewu oni ehu bebre doctor ka say onko fa no nyoma na ye CS no okwa wo ma oba na kwa na ewu ye what time bia ultrasound ye trauma doctors na ye kan say impending fetal demise
okay
that is akwa no owu ti me abeka me trauma doctor no impending fetal demise depending on akra no BPP which is biophysical profile ye hwe akra no na home ye hwe akra no how we toto nsa na nan na ye hwe akra no how we move se emu bi ni nwusu agina no ho ye wi a ye sabe hwe how na koma ne sibo akra bi o ho a normally I was say heartbeat ranging from 120 to 160 until we say akwala at third trimester no na heartbeat e biti 80 it means say owu anasa
say the pressure of form na
no homete no e bit my either bradycardia or tachycardia bradycardia na say akoma no embon 10 inti aba slow tachycardia na say akoma no go faster inti won say akwala no heartbeat na was about 160 no dey no about 200
wow come on I do just my part 2 why
mate
to be promise over badabe
da mo dem be shebia
okay next week
mbacho mate
over availability
amaopa
okay that's pa yene Mr. Abeka Adam Jonah was medical sonographer. Ye di nkomo afa scan here ehia. Enti doctor ka se kwatwa men dodge da e wa nkwaje ntina. Nye sika e pese ye je ho. Mr. Abeka ye ko.
Piese ebia obi nchirechire no obi pese wonya more details. Remember na ya omo hwe Oyerepa health and lifestyle. Na education na ba no obi o ho na yere need time no de ama na yere. Se wo pese wo fra obetimi afre Mr. Abeka e wo 0246 141957 0246 141957.
Yeah, I see. Ye barika ye gaja malala pena mi akatata nye fijiam ni wala don te posi ye zoe te posi emfa te posi pamdele senda tonde aisabu wari simungo de openo mochumi big up still fi ali militant in the whole Ghana ye da mu nyina mo ase Kwesi Parker Wilson e di OBT agenda eba ina desafi emu ohye mayenhia encanta adios
Oyerepa TV, Oyerepa TV, the station that makes me feel so happy. Hey, Oyerepa.
Mama Mo skincare and cosmetics. Asaba maso ye bio. Samoto mama mo nka dia. Se ba honampa. Honam sadi. Body soko. Body no ebe kasa dia. Na je say Mama Mo skincare and cosmetics. Honam no na so be agye aboso. Pimples, dark spots, kochwa, unsechi na yetuntum. Ohima ehwe bebia. Se Mama Mo skincare and cosmetics. Aha na wo ba ye be scan ama wo skin no. Aha basa ne nyina etimi afa na ntomapa e de afra. Ye qualified esthetician. Eye non-surgical. Itu ba ebe aseso ma otu nkete no etimi apuli enya nam ebe twe fat ni nyina fe wo sre ene osisi achi e de wu to no
Ebusiafo yema obibia akwa babiem edeba Oyerepa TV so. Bibia yedui eye OBT agenda. That is the Oyerepa breakfast time agenda. Now no pay yasida bema equia and the PAC for Ghana to say and the health and lifestyle segment on the show. Meeting at the Kwesi Parker Wilson. Now I don't pay me sense to subiem. Sir, the member of parliament for North Town constituency, a year Samuel Kujata Blacka, at the revelation be a ba. Revelation be a ba. Monim just about last week and a year in TSL, a year calf a banny Ghana. Say Ghana Black Stars, no. Your home matches Nina, and Yanko Po baby Nayambo. Your home matches. Yanko Pen baby Nayambo, home matches. Na no and a black away more dream and on the document be about now in the last 5 years, no, we've been paying money to rehabilitate the stadium. Make us sports stadiums say, oh, Ghana. No. We've been paying money. It was for what was the car yet in the last few years? Say for rehabilitating a year Ghana. Yes, stadium now. Ye need stand picture now. Area ho. 2019 on March 18, 2019. Yama brand be friend Kelvin Uforiata. Nikube, that's the name of the company. Nikube. Yama no 10 million, in fact 10.6 million Ghana cedis. Say on say Accra Sports Stadium. 10.6 million. 2 years on, 2021, on the 10th of March, about the same Kelvin Uforiata Kube, Yamano Ebusafo, Ushe Sika Waha, Yamano 4.7 million. So on say Accra Sports Stadium Koyao. In the 2019, Yamano 10 million, so on say Accra Sports Stadium. 2021, Yamano 4 million, so on say Accra Sports Stadium. What about 2022? The same Calvin of Oyata, the Kube, about 4.3 million. BM say on Fancy Accra Sports Stadium. And so what about December 2023? December 2023. About Calvin of Oyata Kroya, the Christian company. About 6.5 million. Say on Fancy a Sipon Sports Stadium. A Sipon Sports Stadium. It was a four. Okay, because I wait in Aboma. Over 85 million Ghana cedis. And the Amasa branch and the Kelvin of Oyata. Say, often says sports stadium in Ghana. Now the question is, Sasika in the last few years, then a dear Yentino, calf abandoned Ghana for. Say Ghana dear, it was a for Yentimi Embo home game, Ewaha. As some Bobo room will get all the information because some area it's an embarrassment. Many sports are not pay, but Ghana Black Stars and they are come so. It's a baby quacho now koya. Or say you na eden ya kasa. Because it's surprising and shocking how Ghana Black Stars and answer about we say we're investing in sports. Now and ye own our very own pitch. Your boy home games. I was say either Togo or Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, to play our home games. And we shall for our as a film. I'm sure in the subsequent days, we'll get into that. The Parliament. And the Parliament is paying for more sports committee. What use the money for? Say it means CAC, I say it means CAC. Because this is our Black Stars. This is the football nation. How can a football nation not have a football pitch? What's that? How can a football nation not have a football pitch? We don't ever see Yenda Nanjo. A Kevin of right under the subsequent days, I'll tell you who he is in Paoye. I don't pay a bush for when you kataka, when you code kaka. Mestre, so before a year pro code, if you kojako, it will headache, or cold, or flu. Nebe boao eye pro code a efi kujako. Obe bi ato e wo drugstore bi e ben bi across the country. Okọ drugstore akasa ope eye kujak for pro code ne bi. Je the pro code ne ma wa hye ne so. such a Kojak Kojach. Open the door to a we call Okansi Drag Lane in Accra. Open the door to our hawk. And I pay from 0302 678999. 0302 678999. And I pay my main Kamfo Nexus Global Services Limited. FMAU. It was for open advanced medical treatment. Our brutal. So, we saw when your problem is okay, surgery, we operation. If you also call a Nexus Global Services Limited. In fact, how many over top 100 hospitals across the globe in a year, Juma? Doctors Samuel Teki and Kika home, our quadri or I are somewhere Juma on the show yepa. It was a fun play. So, what types of cancers? When you cancer, more who draw, what back pain, what knee pain, what was a quick kidney and a liver transplant. If your wife was also take. Sa surgery na an American condition will be our person who surgery ever brutally. You also call a Nexus Global Services Limited. On free consultation, Oba Kawasma, a free and juice car. On the brought a million officer in the Kabrutri, Akwasa Huyare. Ambulance services so in Ghana and abroad in Nam. Be our bed da. So call them some of the hospital, no better baby, on the brought ammonia accommodation. Now, what's how we are ready? Even also question from Kaka that the stories of Marquina and more side of money in arm. There was another paid year. Nexus Global Services in Brahmasia. In fact, office our Cresport Hospital at our Dome Paraku. Cresport Hospital at our Dome Paraku. And our mother over check your on www.nexusgsl.com. Nexus on NEXUSGSL.com. From one to pay on 0539 659259. 0539 659259. It is a problem, any health issues, any problem you have with regards to a year Arabia and Mestre. So we call a Nexus Global Services Limited. Now, Oma Bow, now Okwa, Saya Rene Dawson of Usafo. Abrofo de mfidie kama ebesisi so ebe checko na bibia akoyie. Me free Nexus no na me dey call a express group ebusafo. We so to kwa bo che school. We so koye adwuma, we so call visits. But modern so be call express group. Express group omo nye connection man for there be. Okwa o document omo be amonya, onya visa. Woni passport kra na e be bo amonya passport. Commercial yet or Kumasia, Omo Asafo labor one about, Udu labor one about her, go so much show a year Omudina Boho, Kesepa, I Boho. Accra, Omo first light Kaneshi first light a honor more. Ukotema Omo Comty 18 Lashibi, Omo golf filling station, Na so Oko Suyaniam, Omo Silver House, Omo Ben, a year the High Court. Suyani Omo Silver House, Omo Ben the High Court. Tamale, Omo Ayana building, Tamale, that is close to a Tamale Teaching Hospital. Na se Oko Takradia, it was a for Oko Takradia, Takradi, Omo Market Circle, opposite Hot Ernesto Fast Food, our Takradi, that is close to Takradi Library. Na Omo Canada, UK, Australia, USA, Germany, Express Group Bois, Ama Okosa. Kokoni na so mamba se mo visit Dubai and the Qatar South Korea nyina no woni how ombeboa so we plane tickets ombeboa we plane ticket and pay for express group on 055 555 0067 055 555 0067 and 0249 000448 0249 000448. Formo, Bibia Kama, Edia Mam. And I pay many a year Samuel Ku, the Director General of National Lotteries Authority, in a ding come on. I wouldn't say Oyerepa campaign aid in the 2024 election. Because Dr. Mahmoud Bamia, the NPP flag bearer, but anyone come up and I pay. Now, I don't pay yet. Yemfa happy birthday, Emma Jeffrey Osafumafu Jr. Happy birthday to Jeffrey Osafumafu Jr. We if ne papa ho Felix Osafumafo, or your NPP communication team member. Oh, okay. Into Felix, if I last week, Felix, Felix Osafumafo, and in the back birthday and there, Jeffrey Osafumafo Jr. It's a junior, the Diawo Biano. I don't pay, oh, papa, my very good friend, Felix Osafumafo, CMO. Happy birthday. And Felix is a member of the NPP communication team. Now, Oma Jeffrey, a happy birthday. And them are not pay. I was for beginning at the Kwesi Parker Wilson. And the president of Kano, my name, a member of the NPP. Now, National Youth Organizer. Organizer. Menoka say he's the Director General of the National Lotteries Authority. Yes, Samioku, and also currently the parliamentary candidate at the Ekrapim North constituency in the Eastern region. One, I'm going to come on and I'll pay on the chances of the NPP in the December 7, 2024 elections. Episode 4. Romina Kwaba na aha ayo party bebe a OBT agenda. And I'll pay my guest Abrante Biadodo any minute. Your former national youth organizer of the NPP. Konenim be the national organizer of the NPP. Menoka say the Director General at the National Lotteries Authority and also the NPP parliamentary candidate at the Ekrapim North constituency. And we have for my guest, a lawyer, Sami Ewuko. Sami, I call about the pay. Major Zopaka, you share in our chair. But you share in an or dog council, and Niger council. Who are many agents? Sans Opegana, diabolic journalist. Just as some will bet me and whom watching Chimo will be a Fantini Beck or the annual, or annual, not the Mokoswa Yuma, not a packer. Which you be anywhere. You are loved and hated in equal measure. In equal measure, I'm loved and hated in equal measure. It's always good to see you. And it's been a pleasure also working with you right from when I was youth leader through to national organizer until now. Minim Pakanyene, when he was with Class FM, when he was with Joy FM, and now with Oyerepa. Timino na yakwentu. Mandela Beka, a long walk to freedom. Exactly. My brother, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you too, Sammy. Now, what is to say? You go so yepem so me feel honored by just a couple of days ago. In fact, I'm the only constituency in Ghana. Award 10 senior high schools. None of them. The only constituency in Ghana. Award 10 at a go. Wow. Because those share Cape Coast North, Cape Coast South, or much schools in them. Okay, true. You have St. Augustine's, you have Boche, you have Wesley Girls, Agri Memorial, University Practice, Badachim. Okay. But maybe 10 straight at a go. Within the same constituency. It's, and small boys matter. And at 10, the only constituency again with 2 special needs schools. School for the deaf and school for the blind. Nina ye krapem not. Intino Swawa near the Aswao. A couple of days ago I made a donation. In fact, one of the things also very dear to my heart in the constituency, education. Right. And I mean, not to also flatter my people and you. The only one of the constituencies with high literacy rate, very high, because education also started from there as well. With the Presbyterian school, literacy high. I mean, senior high quite 10. Tertiary is so much. Tertiary, you have quite a number. You have the Presbyterian College of Education. Okay. Yes, you have the Presbyterian University as well. There, no stretch and Presbyterian College of Education is over 100 years old. Yeah, of course. And older than even the Republic. Yes. So, and also having school for the blind, school for the deaf in the 2 private senior high schools, and then 6 normal senior high schools. To Kambumo 10. And on, as I said, in Chipi, in Nakakreni, make donate over 110 computers plus additional 10 laptops for all the head teachers, and also 10 desktop computers per each institution to support the teaching and learning
of ICT and digitalization matters. Inti constituency de Boko.
You also follow nominations.
Well, I did it without fanfare. Yes, and also because on the 3rd of August we had one of the biggest walks in the annals of the constituency's history, which was also led by His Excellency the Vice President, and also the Nunyan Beteche. In fact, the night before, which is the second Nenyumreno, Obeye Youth Connect, which also pulled in excess of over 3,000 people to the venue to come listen to him. And then the walk has also registered approximately about 9,500 people who took to the street to also join us in a second edition of the Ofi Walk. The constituency there, my four days so they are China Nanom Adeshe and constituency for constituents it's been a journey with them almost all my jimia to say one year berima yene won nyina na ebom eko eba
amanfo kase what should that plan we pempia amado pie free constituency work and all of the share is la pass wo be so kwa contest yes me say na yes
oh minyeni first of all politics is a game of ambition,
right?
And in 2012 me yes me call for the seat and I don't know so some train mum na kudi youth organizer tinananom me de oto on him say we mu say na one person me body na person me to aso kudi youth organizer me the youth organizer for the MPP national me mobilize the young people in the country to produce a president and to also win the elections. In 2016 there was also another clarion call for me to contest Manko, and I also made me say no, I'll stay on and then contest for national organizer in 2018. See, made Mejuma ebe in 2018. In fact, yes, people also were expecting say when I was elected national organizer, my expectation is so 2020 days I maybe I could contest for a Captain North. I didn't go. Until when I eventually brought my stewardship to a close as national organizer, I see a kufie. I could see a fear for Erica. To me, the tone and anonym. In fact, I visited every chief or people within the constituency. So, none of them told me not to contest. They actually, some even said, form no, and I may announce I was going to contest. Minya Nanama Kwesi Meje, she's also a sister. And the reality is that when I indicated I was going to contest, she also got that indication, said Nameba. Then I heard down the line, said she won't contest again. And then she was also looking at contesting in Okaikwe North.
I mean, she won't contest again. I mean,
it was a personal decision.
It was a personal decision.
I wasn't part of those who took the decision with her.
Clout.
No, but she has clout. Are you telling me that the Deputy Minister for Trade has no clout? She has enormous clout. No, she's been member of parliament multiple times. It's a simple, but the project says she's been member of parliament multiple times.
Right.
She's been deputy minister for information. She's deputy minister currently for trade and industry. I think she's done well for the people there. Let me be very honest. No administration scores zero. Ubusami met me a cassette. No, so I want then a bit me a year and then I could draw. Any of paper, any of or my constituency, no bit me, I know. So we've got into a point also, or also now hand over the baton to me to also continue from where she left off. And I think that on any day I'll commend her for a good work that she did.
I see. So you didn't chase her out? As
not at all. I don't know why people have decided to come.
The woman out of
one thing you cannot take away from the media is their love for sensationalism. It's part of the journalistic practices. You may disagree with them, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yes.
I see. That's a real question for you. Now, I think as a man who is very instrumental within your party structures, MPP. Now, after why you're not going to say, free party structures anymore. Now, for parliament.
Well, Paka, me just say, you pick on new challenges every day. First, I'm a deputy communications director for the MPP, and from there, I contested to be national youth leader. So now, because I make one term there. After national youth leader, I contested for national organizer. Then after national organizer, His Excellency the President, Medana Se, or Sandemekoshe National Lottery Authority as the Director General. Whether I have performed or not performed, we got the judgment for the people. And I think back to back for 2022-2023, I was adjudged public sector CEO overall for the year. I mean consecutive times, which this is the 8th time they've had that. I don't think any CEO has won it back to back like I have done. I also needed to pick up another challenge. And that challenge for me, I also think public leadership too is about service. And the service that I have rendered to the people, our constituency, it gives me joy, it gives me hope, and this is also a shame in crying to do better.
I see. It's Parliament now will come. Oh, because one month and I say, you think you want to be, I mean, almost everybody wants to go to Parliament,
For me, I don't think so. For me, I don't think it's a slogan to go to Parliament. I think it's about service. Right. And Parker, you've known me all these years. One thing that doesn't attract me is money. I see public service as service. My biggest weakness is my meekness, because I love to share. Adie Kramia, Obiabe Kachos, that's one thing about him. I would prefer saying Kramina then go home to have a good sleep than to leave somebody knowing very well that Nipano is in an extreme state. For me, I think going to Parliament, I have quite some illustrious people I look up to and how they serve their people in Parliament. And let me, for instance, if you take Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo like this, he was one illustrious member of Parliament for his people in Ebuakwa South. In contemporary times, one young person that I can say, and I can tell you that I admire him, maybe I haven't told him, and for the first time I'm going to say it on air, that I admire him and how he's handled his constituency. He's like a father, a brother, a mother to them. Constantly you see him engaging his people and giving back to the people. I'm sure you are scanning through your head, who could this be? and this person inspires me to go to Parliament. Right. And that's the Honorable Afenyo Markins.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I see.
And, in fact, he's turned a once weak hold of the MPP into a stronghold of the MPP. Not just that, but it's come with hard work. And you can see that in spite of his heavy duties as a member of Parliament, he still makes time for his people. And for me, that gladdens my heart. And as someday, if I ever get to be a member of Parliament, I think he's one of the people that I'll be looking up to learn from and learn more from him. Not because he's a St. Augustine's old product, not at all, but you can see that this is a man on a mission.
Yes.
I know the majority leader. That's right. And I can also have a good decision. But I didn't go into details like I'm doing now with you, or my personal admiration for him and how he engages the constituents. Because Sana Manuel Semno, SA. Politics is an interest-based driven game. If Nipano or constituents, Unyashe Emfi Abana Otunimwa, onto. A school sem or boom. The Buonum Pocana told the Bianisika sem, Unyane MP to pick up the phone. Na Ebia one who chebin Wamana direction, say Kohunwe. I think these are I want to imbibe in my people that sense.
I see. You campaign one.
That's right.
Now, on social media a few days ago, so one launch on a couple, your very good friend.
That's right. Former youth leader.
Boys movement TV. I'm also working to placard be judged up on
I believe say or share the season I woman. Great men must move to defend a great project. And that great project we have now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I think Bawumia will make a fine president, personally. When you engage him, he thinks more about the future than about the present or the past. And he thinks that the past should offer useful lessons for the future. Now, say, Ojitum say, as a country, as a continent, and as citizens of the world globally, we are in extraordinary times. Ubibi any bit markacho say we are in normal times. We are not in normal time. We got to a point where unia mpokra ushano abontia unia untimi kra nchiano won nsem o de wabacho na ebishiano. It got to a point unia untimi kra nya na awa too. You have to wave. Catholics Catholic is some Ayana edu baby also let's offer each other a sign of peace. Until after you do the cross, you go around, you check, but we stopped. Until you do one was let's offer a sign of peace by weaving. So it tells you clearly that we are transitioned from a point. Dr. Bawumia and the team, he's experienced the government's very glorious days and experiences challenging days. And I think if you have somebody here who still proposes our bold solutions, because now we are in a post-COVID economy, you need somebody with that better understanding of where we started from and the challenges that we faced, and then that person making prescriptions for the future. And I think Bawumia has learned the rudiment of the game and the rudiment of statecraft. I don't think he will become a president who will not understand the current situation. Because when we won the elections in 2016, it was under an IMF economy. That's what sometimes people forget. But in spite of that, we were able to roll out ambitious programs like the free SHS. Till today, is the single most popular government intervention within the last century.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, if you still engage market women today, the ordinary Ghanaian today, one of the things you still remember Akua Asieduaa for is free SHS.
That's true.
And the free SHS comes with continuity. Yes, starting, we have challenges. People even say stop. The NDC even said we should stop it because Adiano is brought hardship, he brought this. But Dr. Bawumia and his boss and the team never wavered. They still said that it will get better because everything, starting is always difficult. But then when progress demands change now, you still have to push that. Today, the free SHS, the challenges we faced in 2017, I don't think that challenges persist in 2024. They are still rough edges, SE cleaning. For instance, there are issues of food.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, in all fairness, we still have to take a decision as to the best way the feeding arrangement in these senior high schools can get better. Okay. Because people in the past felt the man matrons, the headmasters, then there were examples of, some few people, they were taking the food that were being supplied for private gains. So it's still a discussion we need to have. Still under the IMF economy in 2017-2018, the government still rolled out the teacher training allowance, nursing training allowance. The government still started that industrialization drive of one district, one factory. Started this one village, one dam. All these, and one district, one warehouse. All these were rolled out in an IMF economy. So the IMF couldn't stop us. We weaned ourselves off the IMF, even though we rolled out our ambitious policies. And you could share in time, none of the political parties and in 2016 knew that there was going to be COVID down the line. None. Nobody could predict. And in 2020, about 90% of governments all over the world fell. 90%. They lost elections. The NPP retained power because of how we managed the COVID. And Akua Asieduaa made a profound statement which echoed across the world. Also, we know how to bring our economy back. But how to bring a dead human being back. And so government had to take a decision in the midst of the pandemic, whether to save lives or to save the economy. Akua Asieduaa and the Dr. Bawumia government decided to save the human lives. In saving the human lives, and also came with its own attendant problems. What it meant was that you were willing to break the vote at the bank to support your people. And that was what government did. Teachers were at home, they were being paid. Several civil servants were at home and were being paid for months. If you go to Nigeria and South Africa, either salaries were halved or they were not being paid salaries for being at home. This government continuously my forecast and still offered us some support through water, through electricity, people within the below the poverty line, and giving food stamp, and to support the vulnerable and the poor. Into me, in starting this boys movement, myself and the distinguished former youth leader Cabo, some young men, Nite Kotego, Prince David, and the rest on the team, Anaya Mantea, and all those guys, Salam Mustafa and co, decided, say, look, it's about time that we also uplift the mood in the campaign. Why? Because people were hearing our message, but they want to see also the boots on the ground and the faces out there. So we launched the Boys movement last week, Sunday, and to our amazement, a lot of people turned up, a lot of young people, and they said that, look, this is the way to go. The Amanensi, we decided to move to the street on the Wednesday for us to be able to do some sticker campaign and the street campaign. This is going to continue till December 7th. Okay. Yes, and it won't just be in Accra. It will be across some major towns. Because it must start from Accra. It's in the pipeline. It is in the pipeline. Yes, please.
Some more Casano, what Kabuli about free SHS. And besides, say, rough edges now will come once in a wood. You admit and say,
because it's become topic.
But there's one key thing, even Wayek,
yes,
it raises concerns about.
Yes.
The level of a year cheating, exams malpractice. A coso a war a year exemption because of a free SHS. Many Nakasa personally, many headmasters be a manager to say, and then crown schools they check out amount. The headmasters are forced to assist the student pass the exams. Because of what we are doing, we are toying with the future of this country.
I'm hearing this for the first time.
Right.
About headmasters, you are being a check out amount, so you are being forced to make sure they pass. It's a strange thought.
It's a strange thought.
However, I believe that exam more practice is the practice. I want to be a drama. No, na yechu be senior SSC na never.
But say you can't.
So it's the skill you are talking about. So the exam more practice is in new. Unya professors 10 actual exams about
of course.
They are all professors. Okay. In the same vein, you know, would the brilliant students in a good classroom, one will still be last. And in every group, you have people who are mischievous. And I think that the issues of examination more practices, I don't see the linkage to free SHS.
I see.
I don't. Why? Because the same now you are waiting for last minute to copy. There's no linkage because they are all eating the same food. They are sleeping in the same dormitory. Until they are not linking the free SHS there, I disagree. But it's enforcement of discipline on the campuses. Because if you take Mama on the constituency, for instance, 10 senior high school. Right. These 10 senior high schools, assuming will be our 3,000 students minimum. Assuming 3,000 students minimum times 10. That's a lot. That's about 30,000 people. That's a lot of people in one constituency. And there are more, but I'm just using 3,000 as the base. So the teaching and the non-teaching staff also have a role to play in the Mofrano development. I share in YX concerns that the examination more practices in the idea we have to deal with it. But linking it to free SHS, with the greatest of respect, I beg to differ.
You beg to differ. It is an NDC forecast, Bombe review free SHS. Now, Kenya baby and the same, you agree, say the review is in order, right?
You see, the NDC, what makes the NDC's position a bit of a flip-flop is that, first of all, they said the policy itself wasn't feasible. Okay. They said the policy wasn't possible. It requires governmental courage and support for you to be able to say, me kase sebe, me 100 Ghana cedis me de kwa share addition. ABM 100 cities as a government. Me priority is a bad decision. Someone person me 50 and 60 koshim. A buy a reserve person me 30 koshim. A buy me can person me 10 cities koshim. But for then candidate Mahama, when he was sitting president, said onu sika on fan koshim free SHS. So what has changed now? And if a policy you never believed in, Yeah, it is very difficult because about law, man, you're afraid to be the spirit and letter.
I even forgot.
Yeah,
you're not a proper lawyer.
So the spirit and letter, no. Near the good papers in the constitution, and answer in the policy, no. The letter, but the thinking behind it, is the spirit. Near the discussions that went on, the planning, that's the spirit behind it. Now, if you're not part of the thinking process, you won't even know why A was put there, because you must have some background knowledge. As I said, the NHI, the NDC never understood it when Kufuor introduced it. They criticized it and even walked out of Parliament in this passage. Tuamobaye NHI within the period of the NDC went on its knees. And now Corona, you know, no more vote on the NHI Egbling. Just a good. NPP had to come back and revive it and make it the once buoyant institution that was providing affordable health care to the citizenry. We are not going back. In this election, we won't go back. Going back means to say we are going back to doing so. Going back means that we are going back to the cancellation of free SHS. Going back in this election with the NDC means that we are going back to the cancellation of nursing training and teacher training allowances. Going back means that we are going back to the era where air cash and carry. And I believe that the Ghanaian people, it won't say we face our challenges. And I will be one of the people who admit, say globally, continentally, internationally, you have there was a time even in the United Kingdom, Brodo and eggs now running out on the shelves. We are in extraordinary times as a people, but in times like this, we hear obisos or offer hope or offer opportunity and believes that once again we can rise.
But I'm going back to Dumso. You agree, said Dumso. The Mama Soviets and
oh no, he didn't. He didn't.
No.
As
of December 2016.
No, not on survey. No. In fact, it was 5 years continuously. And Obeka, that's what led to many of multinational companies leaving Ghana or local companies folding up.
But the power boys will bring
no. Nearby, was the
and the deficit in Ghana. They catered for it.
When did they cater for it? The NDC should have then answered this question in 2016.
Because by December, no more. I mean, by December, I
don't admit that. What I think I will admit is that they signed these power purchase agreement.
Exactly.
More of a take or pay agreement.
Exactly.
And then it was a measure that they felt that could quickly come into result in the process, And then when you buy the light. They were able to manage getting to the end of the year of 2016 manage, but the fundamental problems and the root causes were not dealt with. I think we needed to streamline the energy sector, and after some of the agreement that was signed, we needed to also, because now they were costing us an arm and a leg, and then also trying to now introduce more of the solar related energy and also moving more towards sustainable energy. I feel our buyers in this ambitious project, which is the energy sector, they've added some good amount of power to what we get distributed from the ECG as well. I believe Rome was not built in a day, but once the builders of Rome are not stealing the building materials, Rome will be built.
Rome will be built.
Yeah.
Now to the real specifics, Sammy. You see, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yeah.
See, I'm talking about my president.
That's right.
What I say, in principle, you believe he'll be a fine president.
Yes.
But there are 15 challenges now, which you've admitted as well. Promise or Castle Bobby, 10% tax on bets in every home. The real questions people are asking is, Obomubi, and it's a one chain, or your MPP are buying, and they go. And then, only through CCR. Again, the issue of the city. I'm not sure what we are saying. But I was there when my colleague Vanessa said, this is our question. I'm not for someone to say, how come say 4 city is better than 16 Ghana city? It's clearly Bawumia is evading accountability. So I don't know why.
Anybody who says Bawumia is evading accountability, now I find it strange, Kaka. The budget read in Parliament. The budget of the president.
Of course. Akua budget.
Read, not just Akua, all government. Any budget read on the floor of Parliament is a budget of the President read on his behalf by the Finance Minister. Done?
Right.
Okay. Number 2, Dr. Bawumia has done exceedingly well as Vice President with the bold solutions that is introduced to streamline, and people try as much as possible to delink digitalization from the economy. You cannot. Because one, a digital world reduces even the length of time out the year, Juma. It reduces your labor cost. It also ensures efficiency and accountability. All these ones are linked to the economic factors of the country. Number 2, if first, with the presence of Goro boys, it would give you a local pay lines, no be because the system has been streamlined through the digital process. Pay passport would be now with that streamlined digital process. Now, also, if you tell me, say the man is evading accountability, where I will struggle to even understand is that he has been vice president, not president. His role as vice president is to assist the president in the discharge of his duties.
But also, I get 33 policies.
Yes.
I say, I Bawumia, I. When I say president,
he has championed.
I have championed 33 policies. It's why can't he champion?
So, and I'm saying near the man, say onion, and the favor that he got in the eyes of the president. These 33 policies, and streamlining the process now, he's been able to do quite a good job. Now, if the e-levy that you are talking about, it has been passed.
Right.
He's saying that at that time it was to solve a problem. We had come out of COVID. Government needed to mobilize revenue. It's not up to Dr. Bawumia, who has a single voice in cabinet, to say that together with my colleague, the 19 other people, let's say Momo call left, Menkwame call right. No, you're the principle of cabinet responsibility. Once you see through, decisions are made. If one of it favors you, one of it doesn't favor you, one of the key things in our democracy is that once a decision is taken, we are all bound by the decision of government.
Right.
This is not to say Dr. Bawumia disagreed with the passage of e-levy or agreed with the passage of e-levy. He thinks that the circumstances we found ourselves in at that time, government's idea was that we needed to mobilize monies from all sources to be able to increase and shore up our revenue. And in the process, some tough measures, some taxes had to be introduced. But going into 2025, he believes that at that time, e-levy would have served its purpose and must be scrapped.
E-levy would have served its purpose by 2025.
He believes so.
That's what he believes.
He believes so.
And he
believes so. That's why he thinks that in 2025.
Because IMF program.
Yes. So that is why
revenue mobilization.
So that is why he thinks that fantastic. So that is why he believes that there should be other measures of bringing in more revenue and then doing away with this one that will also affect electronic transactions.
But he said the Ondine said e-levy has served its purpose.
He thinks that with what the government has read, the budget that was read, by the end of the year, he thinks that we should have seen a bigger picture. And then we move on with no e-levy in 2025. And then again, one of the policies that he's proposing, look, many people do not understand our tax system. The breakdown our tax receipt invoice. You will struggle to even make sense of what is even happening. So he thinks that we need to have a streamlined tax system where Nipano at tax now it makes sense out of the taxes as well. It's even in some method, for instance, method 1,000 Ghana cedis. Now me say, oh, I'm supposed to pay 10% as taxer. Meaning straight away, at the amount of 1,000, it be 100 cedis for taxes. That one Paka can calculate. That one me I can calculate. His other policy, so he thinks that in 2025, let's begin on a clean slate. Let's have a tax amnesty of all those of all those almost taxes let's begin on a clean slate. But we tell you that this is what they are supposed to be paying. Now we begin on that one clean slate. However, that system where businesses are being harassed by GRA almost every week and every other week, now at your office, it shouldn't be so. We don't need a GRA at our offices. Citizen, we are catching in terms of taxes now filing by this quarter or this year. If a renaissance now will remind you, if a toss of 1, 2, 3, that one, then you are inviting GRA to your office. But not when I keep paying what I'm supposed to pay. I don't need GRA in my offices for them to harass my clients or my customers. Then one of the things that is also dear to his heart at the port. Paka, many people smuggle things through our neighboring countries into Ghana. To the very revenue government wants to raise from the port, you are not getting it. What that means is that you need to be creative, think outside the box, and then propose bold solutions. Dr. Bawumia, in this regard, has thought outside the box and proposing bold solutions to that effect. So his thinking is that either what we are charging at the port will be competitive. You need to go for the pay, or we are bringing ours lower. In that case, you won't leave it at the port, about the system. Then the revenue you intend generating, you can generate it when they are retailing or wholesaling.
If you are semi, means I am for documents. Where I argument any more coin.
Yes.
It's in the event say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ko na I am for say bra yampene e ma wunyi 11 free.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so because say you have to propose alternative.
Of course.
Alternative.
What if the alternative doesn't really sit well with them?
Well, because if we are, my mouth be with the port alone, if this your measures that you are bringing can increase the revenue from the port ×2, it still go up to support whatever you were doing with the one you cancelled. Now take our mining sector. If government's program or Deba, Dr. Bawumia Deba, having a mining development bank, where you also want to decentralize the operations of the Minerals Commission for it to be in every district, your mining area, and have a district implementation committee. And then they give you approval to do sustainable small-scale mining or small-scale mining. You better share a coin or day faso a dear to a good year, you're making sure that and says you. Near the government buys it at the farm gate. Government's revenue will show up. Because we also, Bank of Ghana, Dr. Bawumia almost started a project where they are backing our currency with gold. Russia has been under economic sanctions for years. But the economy has not suffered because their currency is backed by gold. And it's one of the countries that purchases gold a lot. Russia and Iran. So if you check even Iran as well, they also back their currency with gold, and they are one of the biggest collectors of gold around the world. So when Dr. Bawumia brought this initiative, people thought that it was a passing disturbance. The same as when he brought the gold for oil project. So all these are initiatives that he believes will also galvanize government's revenue mobilization and show up. Into whatever we are taking out in terms of cancellation,
making provision.
Government is making provision how we can raise more revenue without directly the person filling it in his or her pocket.
10% bet on tax on bets and so on. And also, if by 2025, so
he believes so. He firmly believes so. Because the truth and the reality is that even with that, we haven't been able to implement it. I'm telling you today. We haven't been able to implement it. Me as Director General for National Law, we haven't been able to. Because, first of all, we have a very wide system of illegal market.
Okay.
So you don't even know them for you to go tax them. So we had a sit-down meeting with GRA. We've been having questions over the last 8 months and with the Ministry of Finance. And we said that, they say, yeah, Geoma. The ones even recently when the NLA was forcing the known private lotto operators to come so that we license them, you had the heat on the streets. Myself, I was even accused, make a Good Causes Foundation, the crowd media, you got doctor document, this is so beneficial. You know, it comes with it. And then people saying that and we are trying to collapse their business. God being so good, they eventually saw reason, so we have licensed these people. Now that you have licensed them, it's now that you can go back to them and then get and have preparation. Say, how do we collectively still support government? Make sure that you don't kill your business. Make sure you survive, NLA survive, but you still generate enough for government. This, for me, is where we are. But we haven't been able to collect even a city.
You haven't been able to collect even a city?
No.
So is it the case that 10% in Enyejuma?
Well, they wrote to me that has the Director General,
and I was
because the framework was difficult. Because look,
and no more bet, you know, won't 10%.
No. Because we are still in discussions with GRA and Ministry of Finance on the modalities.
I see.
Because the truth is, first, you didn't even know them.
This is news to me.
Yeah, we just licensed them. We licensed them 2 weeks ago. And it's estimated that you have over 380 illegal operators. They are still unknown. Companies operating illegally. 400 almost.
I see.
Almost 400 currently. We don't know them. Into 16 or 18 and answer 25 now your license. You know. If you also do not take care, you will collapse them and embolden the illegals. However, collaborative effort between us and these ones we have licensed, they will be pointing out because those in their catchment areas who are operating illegally. Once you bring them into the net, they can have that conversation on how to generate revenue from them.
Are you still thinking of how a certain temperature if your mom better also?
The Minister of Finance, your own discussion.
I see. It is so funny. Anybody who tell you that, say,
we're having, government has brought out that policy. I have personally had discussions with Finance Minister on the practical difficulties. Because, for instance, the NLA like this, if you are taxing us 10% on the winning, government is then taxing itself. Many players, you know. Why? Because whatever that they pay to play on the NLA channels, you know, when they don't win, our Act 722 of the National Lotto Act, mandates us to do good causes. Good causes, potable water, toilet facilities, the charity project. So, and at the same time, we are also supposed to pay into the consolidated fund. So if you are taxing us, then it's government taxing itself because the revenue now, generate, you know, must find good causes in our Act. We are not a subvented agency. You just surplus pay into the consolidated fund. And if you tax the NLA, you are taxing yourself.
I see.
However, the private lotto operators, they are operating on behalf of the NLA. Until almost they make some profit. So in the new streamlined licensing agreement, we will then sit down with government and the private lotto operators. Okay, maybe NLA budget monthly, as part of revenue share. Yeah, they say that can be a good discussion for us today.
I see. For many Samioku and and the Parapay, Evad or NPP parliamentary candidate, or a Captain North constituency, and currently better once a media. He speaks in his capacity as the DG of Ghana Lotteries Authority, National Lotteries Authority, Mekanisa. Now you better once and the better addresses. So I mean, who video now on as a Mojan didn't come on. Now, as Mojan so the Abana say, he has fooled the youth in the ADB. And people are saying that he's supporting the MPP. I mean, who want to introduce on the platform? No, no, Kasai. I saw the video with you. It's what Kasai. How do you feel? And indictment on the party say, you.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
But some Mojan account.
I think basically we're all working as a team. Let me respect his decision. That's the only thing that I can comment on. We take individual decisions. And also, so it's been great working with him. Okay. I think he says he wants to concentrate more on the
humanitarian aspect, politics,
and the sports aspect. So it's good. You have to respect that.
You still buy, oh,
Debbie, I don't think so. It wasn't in his release. So let me stick to it.
People say he's no longer a politician.
But he wasn't a politician.
He wasn't a politician.
No, he wasn't. He came in.
Member of your youth and sports committee.
No, not everybody on the manifesto list is a politician. Let's be clear.
Okay.
If you take the entire list, not everybody on it is a politician.
Okay.
Even there are some who are from the academia, some from the entertainment, some from sports. I will say, it was great working with him too on the project. But also buying Edu Baby, where we have gotten to, we also will move on from there. That's all.
This is what mind is for Arsenal against the NPP.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Because all over social media,
it depends on your Ubikra. I just find, it's a political season. You don't expect the NDC to not to play politics with it.
I see.
You say $5 million, imagine 2.5. These are funny stories, but you have to live with it. So, when I read some of these things and I watch some of these videos, it provides me useful videos to sleep.
I see.
Yes. But you can also take away the fact that there's a political season and everything will be misconstrued for political gains.
That's the whole point.
I think that they are misinterpreting so many of the things he said. Because we're from $5 million. We're from $3 million. And you think that this campaign, you're running, you be $5 million. So on a vote in as someone himself never said that. But I think that you have to allow the political mischiefpreneurs to also have some field there. And these two shall pass.
I see.
For the battle.
Right.
Is the Lord.
Okay. December 7th.
That's right.
Election. The NDC has a feeling. In fact, Tuesday,
yes,
almost a massive demonstration because I'm saying,
and that is Ochina.
Of course, exactly.
Okay.
Almost say the EC register and yet credible in that MPP, and it appears the MPP more as a more my dreams. The EC is doing the right.
Yeah, you call elections, and you catch it. In fact, I'm one of the graduates from the Supreme Court Contempt Matters.
Of course.
In that landmark election petition, the Supreme Court of Ghana catches the elections are won at the polling stations. That notwithstanding, election is not an event, it's a process.
Right.
And all of us must be involved with the process. A more registration, a more exhibition, a more cleaning of the register to the point. And this was the same point we kept raising when we were in opposition. One of the things that I won't take away from the NDC is their right to free speech and their right to demonstrate. It's an inalienable right under our constitution. In exercising this right, you also exercise it with the highest form of decorum. And also, you owe it, opposition must be credible. That's one thing I learned in my political class.
Opposition must be credible.
Opposition must be credible. So your stance in the past should not deviate from the current. When we were demonstrating for a credible voters register in 2016, the NDC told us that we were just trying to create chaos in the election. The then president also said we were trying to frustrate the EC in its work. He told us that we've become destructive to the process. The NDC, even when we took to the street, I was beaten to the pulp in that demonstration of Let My Vote Count.
I remember.
Gabi Ochedakon, myself, the late Justice Ajakuma, his eye was removed. My good friend and brother, Dr. Edward Omanebuama, said that he had the tomato ketchup and enemy. Today, justice is no more. So if now you are inviting me to join your demonstration, are you apologizing for the past? First, I said, look, maybe we got it wrong in the past. What the MPP will not do will be to defend the Electoral Commission.
But you are defending
it's not our job to defend the Electoral Commission. No. From what we have been given, we also go through the register where we have concerns. And again, let me also raise this matter. Having dead names in the register is not new.
Of course.
A constant cleaning of the register. I'm saying this because, Paka, every day, somebody passes on. A nature. Every day. That's why every weekend there are funerals. Once there's a funeral, meaning somebody passed on. And even the day before election, you will have somebody not making it to December 7th.
True.
On the day of election, you still have somebody not ending this December 7th. Because Sana Nyamenshi said, attrition. Every day, Sana life cycle on it. In cleaning the register, all of us must be vigilant. And when you spot and you detect it, we have to open up to the Electoral Commission and point out that these ones you have identified, these are ghost names of people who have passed on. Because they have the death list as well, that you constantly clean it. If the EC is not taking these suggestions on board, that is when then I'll call for
this is a forensic audit because there's been illegal transfer of voters from one constituency to another.
The Supreme Court in the landmark election petition case that still affirmed the win of John Dramani Mahama as president in 2012. Among the rulings, the court stated that the Electoral Commission must purge the register of any abnormalities.
Right.
And they didn't ask a foreign body to come in because they also have a constitutional mandate. Mind you, the EC, their status is in the Constitution and does not allow interference from any side. But we can offer useful suggestions to the EC. That is why we have IPAC. That's why all the political parties have a role to play around the table. So the moment you check that responsibility around the table, then that means you're moving into the realms of unconstitutionality.
I see.
Yes. It's where
how does that move into the realm?
No, me say, if you point out the errors,
yes,
the EC must have the humility. They must have the humility. And so munya asutie. No mu di tieo. Se nyame hu ni amigidi se ewomu a ebema ye register no aye one bloated and answer one enye credible. Your point ma EC as to go through no kase no credit. NPP did some in the past. Yeah. And if you want a political party are championing reforms when it comes to electoral process, is the NPP.
Yeah, true.
Both winning cases at the Supreme Court and winning cases on the street. And we have pushed for reform, be it biometric, photo ID card, transparent ballot boxes. All these were reforms championed by the NPP, and for the record. So, if you have such a situation, not easy that is when you can take to the street. Is the EC saying that they won't take the NDC suggestions on board?
Oh, so much suggestions.
Yes.
But the NDC says that
suggestions.
You can't audit yourself.
But in the past, they asked us that the EC should audit itself.
I see.
Yes. In the past, that was what we were told. Easy for allow you and Damian confer you and some more audit, ahead of 2016, the protests on the street and all, they still had to take the Electoral Commission to audit itself.
The young one was in the NDC.
But at that time, the NDC told us that we should allow the EC to do its work.
Of course, I mean, your mama said, I remember.
Yeah, so now, no, what has changed that the EC is not being allowed to do its work? I mean, one thing I won't do is to defend the EC or defend the police. I'm telling you, because it's the names that heads that will change, but their attitude and structure and architecture will not change.
Right.
Government go, government come, the name will still be Ghana Police Service.
True.
Government go, government come, the name will still be Electoral Commission.
True.
Maybe the people manning it at the top might change, but their attitude, their way of operating. You call demonstration, you bring me into the pub. Omokachi said 10% casualty is allowed. But quite the more like in recent times, you've never seen a street protest at Yabubi. Yet they say the Koboko, ye him hostile on their back, I'm the national youth organizer. There's a commander, lead. Hey, you're so hostile. Now, Kudalo and call for more wine, they say, Bassa. Massa, Brimo Mubrimia, the Danemechi of Mehubia. In so boas, a woman.
I see. It's in any funding candidate. When you're
all I'm saying is, you see, where I'm making constructive criticism, let's not brush it aside, because all goes to support the building of a credible democratic system, where they have raised very genuine concerns. I'll share with the NDC. I'll stand with the NDC on that. Where they have raised genuine concerns, then the EC2 must have the humility to factor these concerns on board, because we are all stakeholders in the process.
But no foreign
entity. Share register him. The MPP who register him, NDC who ye.
Okay.
In the NDC, the almost input on me who aba. I see an attendance and say, okay, it was an oversight. The NPP so ashamed. NDC who ye. Yes, we are the bad. The NDC to must support us at IPA for us to put for a credible system. And I will not brush aside concerns that are genuine, but concerns that are just calculated and meant to frustrate the process. Yes, that one then it becomes a concern. Then you are deliberately putting impediment in the way of the commission.
I see. So, demonstration you suggest I go to bed.
Oh, they have the right.
Across the country.
But then, Sebe, Patapa Puto, you're the man wrong.
Right.
They should make sure, say, in the attempt to push whatever it is, in an attempt to also make a point, it should not lead to the deliberate destruction of properties. It should not lead to the deliberate frustration of the electoral process. For this, I clearly wouldn't support it.
I see, and you say money a year easy, more Canada to work this election because the
NPP cannot be in Canada with the EC.
Because I need for that.
No. NPP will win this election at the polls.
Okay.
We'll win it at the polling stations. And we are determined that your campaign message are yes selling. Look, election will be entering winning mobile. In this day and age, I won. Unya to a banner at the polling station. People even take screenshots. Not they are sending. It will pack our polling station be a year to a banner that day. Na ya kind, na NPP enya 200, na NDC enya 130. Now we report to this case. So in polling station A war maybe a Fienya, Presby, whatever. It cannot be that results in the Kwako crying. No, not polling station. I don't know, NPP acquire 300, NDC acquire 80. But in this day and age, we have 2 year panel. We'll be taking screenshot. Baby are working. Unless your people will be sleeping at the polling station. In any case, if your people are even sleeping, the other monitors. You have Codeo, you have media, you have observers. You even have foreign observers. I just think that the political parties, we need the elections at the polls. Okay. Once you have that, also the counting, because now you're vigilant. I'm still fortified in my belief that in 2012, NPP did not lose the election.
Okay.
But in 2012, the NPP could not police his ballot well. It is any businessman, they will make profit.
It's, NPP, this election, hands down, you're winning.
Menka, hands down.
No tools, no.
I haven't said hands down. This election, in all strength, purposes, it is a tough election for every political party. Okay. Especially for the 2 main political parties. NPP is not being complacent in this election. We are working 7 prayers our back out. And I don't think we a parliamentary candidate in another constituency, but I'm doing street campaign in somebody's constituency. Because in crime for come up baby, almost say me maintain crime here, but I don't quite told me to must say everybody needs somebody. To make sure we win together. We will not sit down and say the election is a foregone conclusion. No. Why? Because we have a new candidate who is his first time on the ballot, but we have believed in him. So we have marketed him, we've sold his policies, and we keep selling his policies. Nagana Fuatias here. In the election, election with the bidder. Is to work hard, work tirelessly to make sure say near Daya Kumasono, Yakwa campaign, ya boy a ballot no buying. And she says here the 2 I keep saying the MPP will win this election on strategy, and NDC will not understand. But the best play is idea way in January 2025. After we won the election. Mr. Medas. Ghana for Madaroma Yabamunim. And name me Bamanimwa, made the Unyam for Dr. Mahmoud Baumiane Bremo. Papay, Wawedar, Wanyama be Brea go through. Waboa som ne boss ewo no kwarimu eni akukudromu emra ye womu no ye mra ye hia opani a ote ye niema ye womu nase papa yi emra ye ba abamu in 2017 wode ne kakra de aboa ne boss achieve niema bebra ye de bae mojide kesense ye de Ghana shedding sa obetimi aboa ye de akoye next level ye nko ye chi nkofa dum so yen kwa yechi mi nkotwa free SHS ye awofo na adamfo yen kwa yechi nkotwa nursing training allowance teacher training allowance na mum ye bekọ ye nim atoa so ye bi atoa so wo free SHS ya ye bi atoa so wo nursing training allowance aye bi atoa so wo teacher training allowance asan ye bi so atoa so ama yen taxes ye gi wo port no etimi aba form ama afezo to aye tua ewo Ghana no so no etimi so no aba form amobi ahen no ye besa akoyanim ameki sure say ye biebie nyuma mo abato we ye na so ye dache ye abato aye kwa akoto a ye de akiri ene anim abato na ekọ. It's an election between the past and the future. No wogidie kese se Dr. Mahmoud Baumia eye domberi ma obetimi aboa yen de adu baabi ayeko momi entoma Dr. Baumia na baabi abehu osono bia na chese eho no ene nkundie wo eho ene yedie wo eho ene mpuntu wo eho ena yesa ato anyuma paso so na ena mahu me wo Oyerepa so die Oyerepa TV so de open abeti eye krojin pa dia memfa mfa baabi a aheya na ese odeto obeti ne yekoso wo campaign mu obeti ne ayeye so ena ha no ye de no kra na ye adwuma yen confuse fiction and a fact. Madam Munyanase. Now, the crack me did chat one say, Minim send ye more than dear, but Majamo edne verses me no. Bako eye Holy Bible, the book of Zechariah, chapter 4, verse 9. Or says Zerubbabel, when Sa would ya said you may say, Odin San San baby. Yankopon Chaya said, one for one son said you manasia. Won't mean Shrazo Mount for San Sanin. Near Tosumi, no, eye. Holy Quran chapter 13 verse 11 or say verily 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 Allah will not change the condition of a group of people until they change it themselves or say no cry Allah will wait once the sun nipa ne shebre and just nipa ne to an amount so be san shebre and also try and while Quran mu say nipa bia no what na fa akwa wunya nyunyam wunya yedie wunya mpuntu te say to the first step na nyame ahira so ama Dr. Baumia take the first step ojitum say Ghana photo insurance uguso a or the betwa su kokko no medam
for another play, my guest has been Samuel Akua, NPP parliamentary candidate or the campaign, not constituent, and of course, the Director General at the National Lotteries Authority within the Kwesi website. So that was Samuel Akua. Now, there's a quick one about. Let me activate the phone lines for you because the producers are drawing attention to an interesting point as I'm making here. Say bet in yente, mo mu trouble bet no. I see about enyante. What me betting so I'm not able to verify that. But mo na mu trouble bet no. If I talk 10% yente, and I say yente, I'm be phone lines in my 0594192409. And I see 11 no. And the quote about maybe year through on the say 2025 na 11 no just say it has outlived its usefulness. They say Juma na obabe no we it's in 2025 the about maybe 11 free ho. That is why also be year free ho. It's no utie komono. What are your thoughts on that? Let me activate the phone lines for you this morning. 05941240. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, I'm Pastor Force and Afefi.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Morning.
Pastor Force and Afefi.
You pay me David, me kasa free Kufuridia.
David me tiare pay.
Mpacho me honorable ne kasa no on see an was standing wo me constituency.
Right.
Honorable Samuel Akua.
Great.
But I the bet no there. Enura no me di bi be me mu say o man ti game free so but no so I don't know. But me sha me try na so there. What say?
Na saying say na udi e.
Oh, me di just 200 cedis.
Okay. Okay, I say we withdraw na yeti. Na say we withdraw the yanyante o. It will withdraw na yeti. What dey mate?
We withdraw na yeti. But me withdraw na yante. The previous one yeti.
Say na withdraw e.
Me withdraw 200 ni na.
200 Ghana cedi yante. Okay. Me tablet bit mo fan me. I don't know my producers the more information. I don't know about it. My correspondent also. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Parker.
Yes, I'm your first Afefi.
Roma Fadani, Mr. Parker.
Roma Fadani, so on the pay.
Some Pahema, Abbas, what I say, and now for so. Never possibly more than my investment at the park, consuming in Patamo. Mr. Parker, you mean the Chubby, Roman in Chubby, but then you have to Chubby. And was say would debate be or not, say. too, but also mobile money, you know, I'm just talking about withdraw. I say mobile money, you know, what you know. What you say? No more.
11 or more. Bet, you know. I don't know about it too. So, me pay education and not pay. Me put you to say, what first snapshot in the mammy. No, when you snapshot in the mammy, why? A catamam snapshot be. Mati, Roman father Mati, Medasi. I'm going next corner, so Mati. Kata the snapshot be by. And not chairman, dear Bitino. I come to some man I can to see Naman for him. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, I'm my first and everything.
Your brother Ajimai.
Great, Ajimai, you're on a pay.
The problem is Ghana National Lottery. Yeah, over games no more turning in Ano. It seems one machine and no more use to the bottom of the in Argentina, machines no more use to them. Almost level who say, we for Monday, we Tuesday, we Wednesday, almost touch to near the bomb.
Okay.
Because the offer you win your money.
No, yo, it was a Mati. Yo, Mati, point one with Medasi. Now, the more we trap bet in the 10% to the Timo, and I say Yenti. So far, ni part 2 about the Chim say Yenti. But I'm say, oh, yeah, 11 was so no, and I tell. That is the point I'm getting. That is what I'm getting. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm your first and everything. Nana be in Bichano pay. Yet you.
That bet you SL. You mean, yes, it's okay. I could say, you try not already scan. It has you and start from NTNO or some come my general. I
agree with you. I agree. No, you're agreeing.
I could say, yeah, and say, and Mr. Dubai, the next one is the NTNO for. I work at family. Is it going to be or
right? I think that's a very fantastic submission. So the argument another being making is say, I was saying a breakdown. It's in a breakdown. Is it empty for 80? Is it 1180 and at 10% in 80? Aha. It's what winning I was screwing so now. You less withholding tax, 10% on gross winning, 800. Total net withdrawn, 7,200. It's what I don't know because there's nothing here. Just say, I get 10%. I say 11 and I say then. So I don't know. I don't know. Minimum education I don't pay. Say Sammy, what I say, what kind of crap? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
My morning.
Me watch your first and everything.
Let me Safo because I have forgot.
Safo, bet no, which are you to and I say until.
But
what's it? Yeti.
Aye.
Yeti saying.
Who be the any percentage you make? Maybe I think 7.290. I want to say almost about 77 cities. Oh, 40 bet one.
I see.
Before I send my mobile money, may withdraw so me say
I see. But if you look at the whole screen, if you look at the whole screen, you have 10% of 80 Ghana, 8,000, no, 800. 80. Well, Mamma Cones going to swear. I don't pay, but someone who's a bet and Muta was some of Kwesi and T. I don't know also what JJ. Oh, when you say, if you let me know someone tell us someone. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
What's your first and everything?
Actually, from a Kabram Casafratus.
Great, Kabram, it's on a pay.
But you bet no saying it here. The Udia. The Udia. Was 40 accounts in the moon there. Is kind of what in any room. Name na otia ba umumu accounts. A one and another dinner or 10%.
It's a levy, and I say, 10%.
pay you by or one moment and now do 10%. And then I will call Mumu standard for cash out once you start or once for the
it's all transfer by bet so. What's our cash out ever say to waka home?
Two Mumu stand one now for you cash out. You start to once for the
and yet you twice. I see. Okay, Mate. Now for just 2 more calls, I'm happy upon the pay. So ABC yet. Me dem Kirby, so I can't take a position on this one. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Pacho for South Africa. Peja ndeka kama me why. We try bet na wan say until.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Pacho. Pacho, you know that's our first one. The next one will try bet because he tends to describe better.
Oh, what did tends to describe better?
He tends to describe it.
I see.
Tends to describe it.
I see.
First one, or you be answering or what? You cry that. So, your time, we are answered.
I see, Mate. I'm for last corner, not your friend see her. I don't know, but well, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your first and everything?
The friend is Joshua, I'm a from Medina.
Great, Joshua. Medina for them, say we try back to pa was bed baby one area. We try it one say until.
Oh, Chacha in the minister, the kind of know that I almost here, yo.
Yetimu.
Almost here, papa.
Yetimu saying. What is that you saying?
What am I in church? The Udi 100 cities, Kana. I'm up percentage room here, 10 cities. Now, what are you, Obama and Israel corridor, Susana? Almost our percentage.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, breakfast. I'm just saying that MPP played the
Mate. It was for Samuel Kuya NLA boss. In the interview, you know, say deductions on Omunya Shasi. And I'm because of media. Minka bet in the so I am not able to tell. In the interview, I said that it is news to me because Mr. Omote or see Debbie. They find it very difficult to even do a deduction. But Mona Muka, ABC yet. But within the weekend, of course, I'll let you know my verdict on this matter. And I'll pay here our very own Professor Charles Marfo, a provost at College of Humanities and Social Sciences, or KNUST, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Prof. Charles Marfo, and there your birthday. On behalf of the Oyerepa team, on behalf of the morning show team, Rebecca say, happy birthday. Yeah, there was a that we spend time off your busy schedule to be here every Thursday to give us some education. It's a prof from all your viewers. Me sure say, Opes Kagwe and Ope Oshawa, Nibajapa, Abema Obe Oshawa, yeah, happy birthday, your very good friend, Opes Kagwe. So, it was for Professor Charles Marfo, and then the birthday prof. There will be an Yamao happy birthday. I'm going to slow now on board by. Na nyansa wo no de bia nya bi na ene ye mbeche wo dwumadie yi so e bi safo adam de besi midin e de Kwesi Parker Wilson e bi admo chena besi aba another edition of OBT. Have a good morning.
TV, every nyame.
Yeah, my name is Charles Barton, the CEO of Express Group. We study in US, Canada, Australia, Germany, and many other places. Express Group is ready to assist you. We have assisted so many students. And those of you who want scholarship, you want to write some of the international language tests like the SAT, like the TOEFL, GRE, GMAT, the IELTS, and the rest. Express Group is ready to prepare you to write it.
I recommend each and every one of you out there to visit any of our branches across Ghana for your study, visit and then work permit visa. Express Group, we are the best.
Express Group, we have our offices in almost all the regions in Ghana. If you're in Kumasi, our office is there. We even have 2 offices. One at Asafo Labor Runabout. The other one is our new international airport, Kumasi International Airport, the runabout there. Oko, Greater Accra and so on. We have our branches also there. We have one at East Legon. There will be University of Ghana campus where LCC building. We are also located at Kandishi, First Light. We are also at Tema and at Kasua. Just Oko. We are located in almost all the regions in Ghana. And it's a person to find here and then I'm for our country Express Group. In fact, Express Group has supported thousands of people to study, to work, and to talk in most of the advanced countries. We are ready to assist you. We are indeed ready to assist you. So if indeed you are planning to travel, or you are planning to go and work outside, or you are planning to have some holidays outside, then as a CEO, I recommend Express Group to you.